Swapping textbooks for TV. Parents reveal they use Netflix to teach their homeschooled kids, as they insist the streaming site teaches them more about the real world than any school. Stay-home mom Taylor Catrin, 24, and her husband Derek, 28, from Cincinnati, Ohio, decided to start homeschooling their eldest son Darian in 2016. At the time, they looked at preschools for the youngster, who is now 7, but wanted something that offered more freedom. They now have 4 children ranging in age from 8 months old to 7 years old, and are taking all of them through the same homeschooling routine. Instead of going to traditional school, the kids watch Netflix documentaries like Our Planet, Life Story, Abstract, Oceans, and Blue Planet. The family also visits local museums, art galleries, and zoos. By DailyMail.com reporter published, 1801 British Summer Time, the 21st of October 2019, updated, 1810 British Summer Time, the 21st of October 2019. 2 Ohio parents have revealed how they are using Netflix to educate their children at home, after pulling the 4 youngsters out of school. Stay-at-home mom Taylor Catrin, 24, and her husband, Derek, 28, from Cincinnati, made the decision to shun traditional schooling when they were researching preschool options for their eldest child Darian, now 7, in 2016. After deciding that they wanted to educate him at home, the couple began putting together an unstructured schooling schedule that includes visits to museums, galleries, and zoos, and watching plenty of Netflix documentaries. Finding their own path. Ohio parents of 4, Taylor Catrin, 24, and Derek, 28, have revealed that they are using Netflix to help educate their homeschooled children. Fascinated, the couple have 4 children, ranging in age from 8 months to 7 years old, and they are taking the 3 eldest through the same homeschooling routine. Freedom. Taylor and Derek looked at a traditional school for their eldest son Darian, Center, in 2016, but decided that they wanted something that offered more flexibility. The couple have since had 3 more kids, Arity, 3, Avini, 1, and Derek James, who is just 8 months old, and they plan to use the same unique homeschooling methods with all 3. Unlike with the structure of school and classes, the couple said their days vary, explaining they have chosen not to enforce a strict schedule to give them the freedom. They take regular hikes in the city and visit cultural places like the Cincinnati Children's Museum, Contemporary Art Center, and the Cincinnati Zoo. However, the biggest educational tool they use for their children to learn is Netflix, where they watch many nature, wildlife, and environmental documentaries that their children pick out, like Our Planet, Life Story, Abstract, Oceans, and Blue Planet. They also use YouTube as a source, and while they do allocate a few times a week to using workbooks or worksheets, they only spend 30 minutes to an hour on this. They feel this type of learning will prepare their kids for the real world because their children aren't spending their time being tested on exams or learning about subjects that may not benefit them in the future. We let the kids pretty much take charge. Whatever they ask about or want to know about is what our lesson will be or what we plan for a future lesson, Taylor said. In control. We let the kids take charge. Whatever they ask about or want to know about is what our lesson will be or what we plan for a future lesson. Stay-at-home mom Taylor Taylor explained that the kids do some structured learning with official workbooks, but admitted that they try to keep it as minimal as possible. Out and about, the parents take their children on field trips to local museums, art galleries, and zoos as part of their education. Creative. Taylor and Derek believe that their children will learn more about the world from being given the freedom to focus on what they want, rather than being stuck in a classroom. We try to do a lot of play-based learning as well. We go to the zoo and museums and learning centers a lot. We do some structured learning. We have various workbooks we use but try to keep it as minimal as possible. We also watch lots of documentaries and use Netflix as one of our biggest tools. To us it's basically schooling our own way. I want the kids to learn through hands-on experiences. We eventually want to school them around the world and travel to different countries and continents and learn about everything literally on the go. We want them to learn through real life. There's so many lessons that can't be taught in a classroom of 38. There's so much not taught in schools that we want our children to learn, and I don't believe in standardized testing and all that hoopla. What we do works really well for us, and our children are so smart. People are always amazed after having conversations with them. It's the best choice we've made for our children. I think benefits of being able to use Netflix and YouTube is we can look up a show or series on basically anything the kids ask or want to know about. We've watched quite a few Netflix documentaries: Our Planet, Life Story, Abstract, Oceans, Blue Planet, Explained, Nature's Weirdest Events, Growing Up Wild, Age of Tanks, and more. in the world. The parents hope that they will one day have the opportunity to travel around the world with their children, leading by example. According to Taylor, people who meet her children are always incredibly impressed by how smart the kids are. Unique. There's so much not taught in schools that we want our children to learn, and I don't believe in standardized testing and all that hoopla. Taylor, pictured with the kids, cited some of their other favorite shows are Motown Magic, Wild Kratts, Super Y, Word Party, Storybots, and The Magic School Bus. I think these are educational because they're watching and learning words, problem solving, kindness, creativity, fun facts, manners, and so much more in a way and through characters they enjoy. Our days vary. We don't really have a strict schedule or anything like that. We do try to get a workbook or worksheet in after breakfast a few times a week, but don't spend more than 30 minutes to an hour on them. My kids are always asking questions and wanting to know about or more about something. They're constantly learning even when we're not trying. Which is kind of the whole point in unschooling to me. Taylor says that they plan to travel around the world time with their children once they can afford it, for them to learn about real-life events. Right now, the plan is to continue homeschooling and eventually world school when we are financially able, she said. Mostly what we find unappealing about traditional school is that it's all about standardized testing and regurgitating information. Hitting back, the parents say that, just because they do things differently, doesn't mean that their method is wrong. Worldview. Taylor believes that schools do not teach children about a lot of important subjects, like accurate historical events in African American culture and history. You're not there to learn, you're there to recite information and get good test scores. Not to mention all the important things that they don't teach, like accurate historical events in African American culture and history. On top of that, it doesn't nurture imagination and creativity. Children aren't meant to sit down and be still and quiet for 6 to 8 hours a day. They are supposed to run around and touch things and ask a billion silly questions. My children have lots of friends that they see regularly and absolutely no problem making new friends. My oldest is the most outgoing child I've probably ever met. They make new friends everywhere we go. My smallest worry in homeschooling is that they don't get enough interaction or socialization with other kids or people. To anyone who might criticize this style of education, I say, just because we do things differently doesn't mean